Hello and welcome to Newtwork. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Today I'm coming to you from the Mandela capture site outside Howick in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands. Remember that it is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if the quality of photographs on social media are important to you. This as Twitter has said that they'll be compressing photos less on the site. Results of that are coming up later in the program. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. We tell you about Google's year in search. We have information on an underwater cable that connects some Indian Ocean islands to South Africa. And our discussion is on a Geekulcha work program. The Springboks have won the World Cup. Here's South Africa's year in Google searches.
In 2019, South Africans across the country turned to Google for all the answers. Now, Google has unveiled its 2019 year in search, a look at the top trending searches of the year.
Load shedding. That's what South Africans are interested in. South Africans are interested in load shedding, cornflakes, and the rugby.
Load shedding topped the 2019 trends.
South Africans have always been interested in current affairs and what is happening. You see the elections are also on the list, so things like that always make the list. But I think load shedding has been particularly problematic in the past couple of years, so that's continually showing up.
Search has always offered a window into what people need, want, and intend to do.
Beauty content, because I'm a beauty content creator, so it's like makeup, where I can get sales and that type of stuff. I search for like funny videos, I search for like humor and stuff like that.
The most searched for South African personalities included the late James Small, Chester Williams, as well as media personality Xolani Gwala. South Africans proved they love their sport with searches including the Rugby World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, India versus South Africa, and Soweto rivals Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates.
The World Cup made sense. I expected to see some of the rugby team players, which we did. So Siya Kolisi is on the list, Faf de Klerk is on the list. So you see that. A lot of South African lost a lot of good people this year, like Xolani Gwala. So you expect to see those names on the list as well. So yeah, so those were on the list.
As we head into 2020, people's expectations will continue to rise. They will ask increasingly detailed questions and expect brands to provide answers that are tailored just for them. Ultimately, it will be the brands that are deemed truly helpful that will rise above the competition.
Water can be an important part of what can connect countries when it comes to the internet. There's an undersea cable that doesn't start here at Howick Falls. It, however, does start here in KwaZulu-Natal. It connects South Africa with the Indian Ocean islands. A high-speed internet undersea cable that connects South Africa and Indian Ocean islands has landed in KwaZulu-Natal. It's called the Melting Pot Indian Oceanic Submarine System SABC cable, or METIS.
It's one of the first submarine cables to land in the last few years. And this cable is important because it is one of the first cables that's going to link South Africa to the Indian Ocean islands, integrating the African markets, bringing together various African markets.
The cable, which goes live mid-2020, offers capacity of 24 terabits per second.
It's particularly important because it's one of the first cables that is linking countries in the Southern Hemisphere together without linking to any Northern Hemisphere destination.
This is something said to be useful for the economies of Reunion, Mauritius and Madagascar.
First of all, this new cable will give us more security. Since if we only have one cable, if it's cut, we do not have any internet anymore. So first of all, it's security. Secondly, since we are the owner, we own our own cable, it will for sure decrease the price of internet.
Submarine cables are important because they are the basis on which the internet connects people together. So this will be a very important cable in terms of providing internet connectivity for the people in those various countries. So Mauritius, Reunion, Madagascar, and back into South Africa.
Liquid Telecom says the plan is to eventually offer high-speed connectivity to every African country. For a while, Africans felt underrepresented online. There's now a series of emojis that are actually African. Let's find out a bit more about them.
This is 22-year-old Pleru Grebe, a graphic design student from Ivory Coast. He is also the creator of Zuzukwa, emojis reflecting African culture, social expressions, food and tradition.
As an African and Ivorian, we have our own codes. You won't find that in the traditional emojis. So thanks to Zuzukwa, we can send an expression like this now, and automatically the conversation flows more easily.
Grebe began creating the emojis in 2017 and sought inspiration from the streets of the capital Abidjan, everyday life and his friends. The emojis have since gained popularity.
The idea didn't come to me straight away. At the beginning, I was looking at ways of promoting Ivorian masks, incorporating them into my work, and during my holidays from first to second year, I thought about creating emojis to achieve that.
Food features prominently in the emojis, including the national Ivorian dish gaba, made of manioc semolina, grilled tuna and hot chili peppers, are one of the reasons many like Elena say that it is time they had emojis that were relevant to their culture.
They are emojis in which we recognize ourselves, that translate our day-to-day, our reality. And obviously, since emojis are elements that help us to identify each other, if they're African, you can't get any better than that, really.
Today, the emojis have been downloaded 100,000 times on Play Store and more than 30,000 on the Apple Store, and was nominated for the African Talent Awards Best App category.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. After the break, we chat to Geekulcha about their Newtwork program that they are hosting right here in Howick.
electronic lift irrigation.
All right. So it is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za and email. Welcome back. Now, these chaps here say they are working on an IoT irrigation system that could help with farming. But let's find out what else is taking place right here as the Geekulcha Newtwork program that's taking place in Howick. It's the school holidays. There are heavy rains outside. These young people have chosen not to play video games, watch TV, or spend time raiding their parents' fridges. Instead, they are in the Howick West Community Hall, where they are learning how to build tech solutions to solve problems.
This project we're working on is like a dream coming true for me.
With this opportunity for this session, learning on how to create a website, of which is going to help me to get people to get access to the brand.
They have been brought here by Geekulcha, Vodacom, NYDA, and local NPO called Sibambiseni.
We deal with issues like child abuse, all the abuse that happens at home, so we deal with them instantly. When we are not in big cities like Joburg, Durban, so those kids don't have equal opportunity compared to the ones that are in big cities. I made sure that just wanted to expose them into this. We believe now we are in this phase of the fourth industrial revolution, whereby all things are done technologically. So I just wanted to make sure to uplift my kids within my community.
They've come up with apps and IoT solutions.
Our project is we're creating a web page. So So this web page provides services to people like tourists coming from other countries if they want to stay, like visit sites, so they can see nature from a different point of view.
We're inventing a device where the device will detect if there are going to be floods or anything, and that device will also be able to detect if water has bacteria in it for animals, or to see if it's safe to drink or not.
For the website, you can get access to getting to view the things or the product that we sell, the clothing, and you can actually get an order from the website. We've got our people who can actually get in contact to you.
In the end, they will get judged and there will be a winner. But they will all leave having gained skills that offer a new kind of method of solving problems. All right, so as they continue to work on some of their projects, let's take a bit of a break from what they're doing here and speak to Skinny Sugar from Geekulcha to tell us why they do what they do and why they brought it to Harwick. Skinny, maybe if you can start by telling us what happens at the Geekulcha VECWEC programs.
So at the VECWEC program, Geekulcha VECWEC program, it's where primary and high school students come, spend the holidays with a geek. They get to learn how to start their own business through tech. So they start building their own solutions, like building websites, mobile application, electronics, and also graphic design. So all of these students are forming a group and they are treated as startup companies. So since 2014, we've been doing this VECWEC with other 5 provinces throughout the country. And 2019, this is our first one in KZN.
And tell us about some of the places that you've been.
So we've been to Northern Cape 3 times for VECWEC, actually 4 times for VECWEC, Naba Beep, DR, and we've been also to Johannesburg, Pretoria. Pretoria is our main, main playground.
What are some of the projects that some of the participants have had in the past?
So the participants will mainly come up with their own ideas. Like for example, in 2017, these other students came up with a water system, and they also won at the Geekulcha Hackathon with that system. So it was developed at the Geekulcha VECWEC program, and they took it further to Geekulcha Hackathon 2017.
You're in KZN for the very first time. What are you finding in KZN?
I am finding good vibe, a good view, and positive and also good attitude from the students. Also, they are amazing candidates. They are talented and they're also willing to learn. To be honest, this is the first time I've seen a lot of students who want to learn a lot.
They've never had to build or create. Are you finding that it's a struggle to get them to think about those projects?
It's not really a struggle, since now almost every teenager has a phone. They have WhatsApp and they have your Facebook and all that. So if you can explain to them, during this school holidays, you're gonna learn to build something like WhatsApp and all that. They get interested in all that because some of them, they feel like, okay, if I can create my own WhatsApp, maybe it's gonna change the world, or take me to places and all that.
What's the process that you go through during the 5 days?
So day 1, it's introduction. They come up with our own team name, which we take it as a company name. They get to also choose your CEO, business analyst, and they also now start like the first foundation of the project. So coming up with ideas on what, okay, this is our team, let's solve something. What are we solving? And before we solve that, we need to understand the problem first. Then after that, we go to the next stage whereby now, okay, we need to sell this. We need to know the business behind our idea. Then on the last day, that's when now they get to present to in front of the judges and in front of everyone, where now they'll be testing their skill for presentation, for marketing, and also how they're going to sell their project. And it's one of those things which students now, they are the one who came with that idea, and they feel comfortable presenting it to other candidates and also other judges.
Why do you do this?
To be honest, from my perspective, it's one of those things that we just want to change the world. It's a struggle also whereby a lot of students go to university or tertiary and they don't have computer skills, they don't know how to move a mouse, they don't know how to type a Word document. And for the past 5 years, we realized that a lot of students don't know how to create their own email. So when you get to university, you get your student card, you get your student number, and it comes with an email. They tell you to log into your portal, and you don't know how to do that. So through the Newtwork program, you learn how to do that also. You learn how to create your email, you learn how to send email. You learn also how to use other platforms to communicate with other organizations or other people. And also the main thing is to do a research. You get to university, they give you a research on something. You need to do a research on all that. Some of them don't know how to use Google. You know? So through Newtwork, they learn how to do the research on their own.
All right, Geekulcha, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Thanks.
Thank you.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the technology space.
Australia said on Thursday technology giants such as Facebook, Inc. and Google will have to agree to new rules to ensure they do not abuse their market power and damage competition, or the government will impose new controls on them.
I want us to be the model jurisdiction in the world for how we are dealing with digital platforms, social media platforms, and I have a simple rule, and that the rules that exist in the real world need to exist in the digital world. Now, if it's a wrong thing to do in the real world, then it's a wrong thing to do in the digital world.
The move tightens the regulatory screws on the online platforms, which have governments from the United States to Europe scrambling to address concerns ranging from antitrust issues to the spread of fake news and hate speech. And now in Poland. Blowing bubbles and cooking in a play kitchen, it's all in a day in the life of a toddler. 2-year-old Ola from the Polish city of Lublin does it in style, wearing a funky pink and grey designer prosthetic arm. Ola was born without a right forearm, but thanks to a tailor-designed limb from Polish company Prosthetics, she can live her childhood to the fullest.
Ola simply puts the prosthetic arm all by herself. She simply wakes up in the morning, puts it on, and 2 seconds later she is wearing the prosthetic.
Prosthetics, established in Krakow in 2017, uses 3D print technology to produce about 100 prosthetic arms per year for clients as young as a 3-month-old child. The company has just entered the US market and has broadened its offer to include clothing that matches the design of the prosthesis. Moving over to Canada. An electric-powered seaplane made its first flight on Tuesday in Richmond. Vancouver-based Harbour Air seaplane and US electric engine maker Magni X said the flight was the world's first by an all-electric commercial aircraft.
It went flawlessly. Everything we could have expected and dreamed of a first electric commercial aircraft happened. The path to here was rocky, as any aerospace path would be, but the team overcame every challenge that came up and solved it, including staying up all night yesterday to make sure everything will be ready for this morning.
Magni X and Harbour Air said they will now begin the certification and approval process for the propulsion system and the retrofitting of aircraft before installing the all-electric propulsion technology in the rest of the fleet.
Twitter says they will be compressing photos less when you upload them on the social media platform. This is so you see better quality photographs. So that is our poll on social media, rather on the Twitter platform this week. So 26% of you say the current quality of the photographs is fine. There's 38% of you who say it needs to improve. That's the majority. 18% of you say you just don't care. There's a further 18% of you saying, well, this poll is not really important for you. And that's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. From me, Spumelele Zondi, and the rest of the team right here in Howick. Thank you very much for being a part of our network. Have a good one. Bye-bye.